Hello everyone, welcome to our week 3 review of financial in AXIE Infinity or crypto games. Before I start my review, I would like to talk a little bit about the patch which is just updated today, Monday. This is a huge patch and it impacts a lot of players and the economy of AXIE Infinity. I will run through point by point. So first one is currently for the arena, the top 1,000 players will be able to get some kind of reward, which is a great thing. It's kind of like Magic the Gathering or card games. Like if you are able to finish in a certain range, you will be able to get free packs and all those stuff, which is kind of good. And the second part is huge. They are reducing the SLP benefits from 100 to 50 and also the daily completion bonus by half. And here they kind of explain why they are doing this. If you can see this chart, the red color indicates like the SLP that's being minted on a daily basis, which you are seeing there's a huge amount of surplus, whereas the orange line is the one that is burned for AXIE NFT minting. And from the chart, you will notice like this is not really healthy, as you are having too much supply, which will drive down the price of SLP in the long run. Essentially, they are cutting down by almost half. If you look at the rewards and such, and at the same time they are trying to move the game from PvE to a PvP kind of game, so it starts to become like kind of like typical card games like Pokemon, Magic the Gathering. So in those days you used to require to go to a game store and play, and if you win you will be able to get something. So it kind of evolves into that part instead of like just playing against the computer. And another reason is that there are a lot of scholars that are abusing the rewards. As you can read here, there are many bots that start to abuse PvEs, and what happened is like people are starting to play multiple devices and multiple accounts. So but what I personally felt is that as there are way more players that come into the game, people are breeding by a lot as well. So it becomes a problem when people are starting to breed floor axis, which doesn't really, which destroy the breeding economy. Because as a breeder myself, it is always the goal to breed better axes or interesting axes and play with it. Every time when you breed, you really want to breed something special. And NFT is all about uniqueness. But then when people starts to breed like floor axis, because there are a lot of players that come in, and the reason that people comes into the game is not really for to play the game in the long term, but to farm some crypto for a couple of months before moving into the next game. Really unhealthy for the players that want to play the game for a long term. One of the part that Sky Mavis is really good compared to other game developers is they take very, very quick action so that they are able to safeguard the core community, which I think is something fantastic. Because the opportunities like they will just move from game to game, and whenever there's a new title that in town that generates more revenue or generates more profit, they will just switch over to that game. But the core community are the ones that really enjoy the game, really like the PvP. They are the one that is going to play the game for a couple of years or maybe decades. So if you look like game like Pokemon, Magic the Gathering, people are playing the games for like 10 years, 20 years, even games like Diablo 2, World of Warcraft, etc. So I think it's a really good thing for them to want to take this game to the next decade, create something like perhaps like what Supercell did with Clash of Clans. Yeah, good stuff. So with this new system, they're trying to focus more on PvP. So it kind of become something like Clash Royale that you need to play against player instead of playing against the PC. It also makes the game much more enjoyable. Like, I really hated the PvE part because it was like, it really took a lot of my time on a daily basis. I think at one point I was spending like 2 hours. So right now with this new system, I probably just need to spend a half an hour, and the rest I can really play the PvP, which I enjoy the most. And I personally think like, if you like AXIE Infinity, you really do enjoy the PvP aspect of the game because it is just really, really nice. The depth of the PvP is there for sure. Now, the last part they mentioned that short term, probably they are going to reduce the AXS required from 4 to 2, I guess. And if this still doesn't work, if SLP still remains at a very, very high level, what they will do is they might increase the SLP required, which doesn't really benefit any of the core community. It kind of benefit more AXIE farms or big organization. After going through the whole patch, I personally think that the AXIE Infinity team, they really want to take this game to the next decade. AXIE Infinity is probably the most successful project in the Ethereum ecosystem. They have been doing well so far, and I think that they do understand that having a surplus of AXIE farms that come in, they have hundreds of scholars while farming all those SLP and giving really bad profit split like 30-70. It is unhealthy for the community in the long run, and especially for the core players that are willing to spend time and effort in the long run instead of just taking this opportunity. I personally think that if you are a AXIE Infinity player and you really want to play the game for a couple of years, you will like these changes. But if you are just like trying to farm some SLP for a couple of months before jumping into the next game, you will definitely dislike this patch for sure. Right now, let's go into our week 3 analysis. For this week, we didn't really put in any extra cash, so we just maintain with our capital. And this is the asset part of our AXIE. So currently, I have in total I have 5 scholars, and I have an inventory of 4 AXIEs, and this is the total value of all of my AXIEs. And for the SLP that I have mined so far, it's about 2,000, which works out to be around I think it's like $450. For my scholars, for the past few weeks, the benefits that I'm giving them is I just ran the AXIE out for 65 SLP, and I personally think this is probably the best in the entire market. So with the new patch, probably I will go more towards like 50-50 split with my scholars, and I think that is reasonable. And this is the total holding in short. So currently we have Ethereum. Now, recently there is a huge price spike for Ethereum. It really changes the price of all the AXIEs. So I'm going to put a 20% reduction in total price for my asset here. So in case something happens, this accounts for it. And in hand I have 0.32, so it works out to be about 6.312 after the 20% discount on my inventory. So I have some other coins. So in total I have 6.52 ETH, which works out to be around 78,000 ringgit Malaysia and 18,000 US dollar. So this is mainly most of the Ethereums are in AXIE form. And as for my capital, so there's no extra capital this week. Previously we put in roughly about 13,000 US dollar, and currently our asset is worth 18,400 US dollar. So total ROI cumulative for the past 3 weeks have been around 42%. This ROI has been driven a lot by the increase in Ethereum pricing, and there was a hard fork. Previous week we had a 16% gain, but this week our ROI is only 8%. which I think is mainly driven by the ETH price. So yeah, so as you can see, we started the game at around 8,000 at around this point, which is around 8,400. Sorry, it's around 8,400. So Ethereum has been increasing since then. So this has kind of increased the value of our AXIE. But one thing I start to observe is that whenever the Ethereum price goes up or goes down too much, it really hurts the AXIE price as well, because then people start to panic and slash down in prices or increase the price. So I would say that a stable Ethereum is way better for AXIE Infinity, because then you will be able to see your AXIE goes up in price gradually. I think for those of you that have invested in AXIE in terms of time and AXIEs, you really want your collection to goes up in price slowly along the years, because that's what investing in NFT means. All right, it's a bit long for this week. Hope you guys like it, and peace out.